Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. So, we have an earthquake swarm hitting Tenerife, Canary Islands, 17 quakes within an hour. And so, this is always an area that causes concern, because it's an area very close to La Palma, which, as we've talked about, is the potential for a mega tsunami. So, anytime we see swarms in the Canary Islands, it's a wake-up call to pay attention for anybody on the Atlantic Ocean coast, anywhere from South America, North America, Europe, and Africa. All the areas. Keep your eyes open and be aware, because this could create one of the most devastating scenarios for the East Coast. And La Palma, as we've talked about before, is basically just like the Helena slump. It's an area that is collapsing, and they've shown study-wise that it could create a tsunami that could be anywhere from 300 feet to 1,000 feet or so in size. So it's something to be aware of, and just anytime I see that, it's a wake-up call. And when I was in Florida, I would always put a knot in my stomach whenever I see any swarming going on there. Doesn't mean that anything is imminent, but at the same time, it's just really a matter of time, and that's what scientists will tell you. It's just a matter of time, but hopefully it won't be in our lifetimes, and it's just something we should be aware of. Now, we had deadly floods hitting Indonesia. More than 1,400 homes flooded out. At least 4 people have been killed as well in the past 4 days. And this is in the provinces of West Sumatra and West Java, after heavy rain caused severe flooding and landslides. And there's a video or two for you guys to check out on that one. And over to Melbourne, we have flooding in Melbourne as well. More rain in 2 hours than in September and October combined. And that is what we are seeing now. We're seeing this big time all across the globe. And this was a slow-moving storm system that dumped heavy rain over parts of southeastern Australia on November 6th, causing power outages and traffic chaos. The city's northwestern suburbs suffered the worst of this storm. Thousands of homes and businesses left without power. And it was a very slow-moving storm, which is exactly what they were warning us about a year or so ago. They were saying you're going to see these systems, and they are the scientists that we have leak us information in bits and pieces. And so they said you're going to see these storm systems just tend to wander in and just kind of stay put. And that's exactly what we are getting now. And, accordingly, this is supposed to be part of what the grand solar minimum is all about. And yet another asteroid coming by on less than 1 lunar distance. And this one's 2018 VX1. And it's going to fly by on the 10th. 0.9 lunar distance, so that should be good enough that we won't get hit. And this one is about 25 to 55 feet across, so it's a good thing because that could cause some damage. And so it'll be at 1821 UTC on November 10th. So we've seen a lot of these, and the numbers keep going up. And the orange planet. Are you aware that we're no longer the blue planet? We're the orange planet. Yep. Stunning NASA image from the International Space Station shows Earth enveloped in a rare Earth air glow. And look at that. So we're starting to look more like Mars every day, aren't we? Pretty interesting. So a NASA astronaut captured the stunning photos. The orbiting station is 220 miles above Earth, and some don't believe that. Phenomenon typically occurs when molecules are energized by ultraviolet radiation from sunlight. NASA is about to launch a new satellite to study phenomenon called Ionosphere Connection Explorer, ICON. And yes, I don't trust anything coming out of NASA either. But again, even so, you always want to say to yourself, okay, what do they want us to take out of this? And also, are they trying to give us little clues to reality in small little drips and drabs just to get us prepared? So obviously we have a lot of changes going on, especially in the atmosphere. And I have some photos I'm putting together for tomorrow's video. Visited today with a wonderful Evolutionary Energy Arts subscriber. Actually, I should say subscribers. And oh my God, the photos that they were sitting on. Incredible. So it's like, please send them to me. Send them to me. These are amazing. So I will be sharing those shortly. Very, very interesting ones. And you know, these are not doctored. I totally know they're not doctored. These are wonderful people that are very honest. And honestly, I don't think that the person that took the photos, you know, would have the ability, the technical ability to really doctor them at all. And I do totally believe them, and they are very interesting, and I can't wait to show you guys that tomorrow. But we're seeing crazy stuff, wild stuff. So the orange hue enveloping Earth is known as an air glow. It's a diffuse bands of light that stretch 50 to 400 miles out into the atmosphere. So it can help scientists learn about the movement of particles near the interface of Earth and space, including the connections between space weather and space Earth. So why orange? Why are we seeing this now when we haven't really seen this before? Does it have anything to do with perhaps a larger body that is red out there? And maybe those particles are coming off that body that is red out there and infusing the Earth with an orange glow. Just saying. More bones unearthed at the Vatican Embassy as the coroner waits in. In case you didn't know, they've been finding bones over there at the Vatican Embassy lately. And we have more bones that were found on the grounds of the Vatican Embassy in Italy, adding grisly new evidence to the growing mystery over who was buried on the Holy See territory and why. As police returned to the compound Tuesday, coroner Giovanni Arcudi said preliminary examinations of bones found last week indicated they belonged to a woman likely in her 30s, not an adolescent. The finding is significant since speculation focused on whether the bones were Emanuela Orlandi's. She was the daughter of a Vatican employee who disappeared in 1983 at age 15. Despite the age of the bones, the Orlandi family lawyer told ANSA news agency that her clients are waiting for DNA analysis. Some have hypothesized Emanuela wasn't killed immediately, but instead held for years against her will. And so, blood at the Vatican. Actually, if we do a little research, there is so much blood on the Vatican, in the Vatican, all around the Vatican. And perhaps we will delve into that a little bit more later, but this is very interesting. Scientists have confirmed a new DNA structure inside human cells. Earlier this year, scientists identified the existence of a brand new DNA structure never before seen in living cells. That's right. It's not just the double helix. Hello, have we been talking about DNA mutations? Have we not talked about the potential for 12-strand DNA? Have we not said that the CIA did a study, basically studying the effects of cosmic radiation, increased cosmic radiation on humans, and they found out the DNA mutates and it causes an increase in psychic ability and the energy, the perception, the ability to basically perceive and manipulate energy as well. So this is all going along the lines with what we've been hearing for a long time. And I started hearing about all this in the channeling circles back in the late 80s. And you know what? Everything that was channeled in those days, it's amazing. All the stuff that I thought was a little bit out there and I thought was interesting. And, well, you know, it sounds really great. We'll see if it's true. I don't know. Kind of doubt it. But it's interesting nonetheless. Back in the 80s, that's what I thought. And you know what? It's been damn accurate. Incredibly accurate. It's been so accurate with all the changes we are now seeing. It's frightening. It's clearer and more accurate than any of the ancient prophecies, really. It's so clear. And so this is one of the things. We are changing. We are changing. And the DNA is evidence of that. And so they found totally different structures, and this is the I motive structure. And, you know, DNA is mutating, it's changing, and it's really fascinating to see scientific proof, and this is from Waking Times, scientific proof of our DNA mutating. And I've touched on this before, and many of the new people might not know about this. But imagine being able to activate your dormant junk DNA. In recent news, scientists and geneticists have discovered 3- and 4-strand DNA in human cells, while some geneticists believe we may soon evolve to 12-strand DNA. To those who may dismiss this theory, an article entitled "Spontaneous Evolution Has Arrived." A child was recently born with 3-strand DNA in England and confirmed. His name is Alfie Clamp. And we've touched on this before. And Alfie, unfortunately, has since passed on. But and many are suspicious about that fact as well. Dr. Brenda Fox, she's a holistic practitioner at Avalon Wellness Center in Mount Shasta, California. And so she has made note of these changes. And so the question posted to her was basically, what are the changes that are happening at this time on the planet, and how are they affecting our bodies? Well, there's major changes. There's mutations that haven't occurred, according to geneticists, since the time we were supposedly coming out of the water. Several years ago in Mexico City, there was a convention of geneticists from around the world. The main topic was DNA change. We are making an evolutionary change, yet we don't know what we are changing into. And so, hence a lot of this is the reason for the name of this channel, Evolutionary Energy Arts, because it's through energy that we are going to make evolutionary changes to lead us in the next stage of humanity's destiny. And so we are totally changing. Everyone has one double helix of DNA. What we are finding is that there are other helixes that are being formed. In the double helix, there are 2 strands of DNA coiled in a spiral. It is my understanding that we will be developing 12 helixes. During this time, which seems to have started maybe 5 to 20 years ago, we have been mutating. And so that goes back to, basically, again, what was talked about on the channeled information. And there's so many that talked about it, such as, there's many of them, but Barbara Marciniak, Barbara Handclough. There's many people that have talked about this, Greg Braden, and amongst others. I just could think of those off the top of the head. But it's something that is happening, and it's happening because of everything that's going on around us energetically right now, what we're being exposed to. And in reality, there is the thought that we have been there before, and that's when we had golden ages. So in some senses, we're only reclaiming what has been dormant in us for a long time. So the changes have been not known publicly. Of course, they want to keep that down and quiet because the scientific community feels it would frighten the population. However, people are changing at a cellular level. I am working with 3 children right now that have 3 DNA helixes. Most people know and feel this. Many religions have talked about the change and know it will come about in different ways. We know it's a positive mutation, even though physically, mentally, and emotionally it can be misunderstood and frightening. And so it's going to increase our ability to basically perceive things clearer. It will also increase our ability to perceive things on different dimensions, and also increase our psychic abilities and powers, intuition, and things like that. And so this is part of it. And this is another article on it, and this is basically a full interview with Dr. Brenda Fox. And so I'll have the link to this as well for you guys to check out. And so, yeah, these are special times. This is the times that we've been told of. This is the times of the apocalypse. And apocalypse means the unveiling, the revealing. It's all being revealed. So we're going to see the interconnectedness of all our traditions, the interconnectedness of all our mythologies. And we're going to understand that, we've been kind of played by the powers that be. They've kept things hidden from us. They've given us a different perception of the world, a darker perception of what's to come, because we have innately tremendous power and abilities within us. And we're just going to start to truly learn that we can manifest what we want to manifest, because that ability lies within us. We just have to focus it. And we can manifest a positive world and positive change. And the changes are occurring. and they're not going to be able to be stopped. So that is actually a good thing. And so the apocalypse is the time of ascension. And this has been spoken of by like all the traditions out there in many different ways. So ultimately, my friends, yeah, we live in challenging times, even downright scary times, but ultimately it's a positive thing. So as always, please do thumbs up to support the channel. Go ahead and subscribe and click the bell. Make sure you get all the notifications and share with as many people as possible so we can wake them up to what's going on and help humanity reclaim its power and its ability to basically manifest a positive destiny out here on Earth. May you guys always be blessed with abundant peace, love, happiness, health, and all good things. God bless, my friends. Namaste.